Hi there everyone. So in the last video we explored what music really is. It's an oral form of art that expresses beauty and emotions to both the performer and the listener. Now knowing this definition, it's time to ask the next big question. What is the role of the conductor in this process of making music? What does a conductor actually do? Like more than just waving their arms, what is the real job of the conductor or drum major? And so we're just going to dive right into this. To answer this question, let's first look at the word conduct. It's obviously the root of the word conducting. If you look online, the origin of the word comes from the Latin word conducere, which means to bring together. I think this gives us a pretty good base to go off of. So as conductors, we are someone who brings together music. Now, when it comes to music, what exactly is it that we are bringing together? Well, of course, we're bringing together the different parts of the ensemble to bring the music to life, but it goes beyond that. Remember, the composers are the creators of the music. Well, before we bring together the instruments and different parts of the ensemble, we must first bring to the ensemble an understanding of the music. This is to bring together the composer's vision and idea of his or her work with the ensemble. This is also known as the composer's intent. This is understanding why the composer wrote the piece of music. Like, what is it he or she was trying to say or convey through the piece, and more importantly, why. And so we develop our understanding of the composer's intent through researching the piece, researching the composer's life, and score studying. By doing our homework, this allows us to form our own interpretation and vision of how the music should ideally sound and be played by our ensemble. Then we can begin shaping and bring the interpretation to life via the rehearsals. So to answer the original question, what is the role of the conductor? I say it's being responsible for interpreting and then unifying the ensemble to one vision of how every moment of the piece should be played. We are, after all, the only ones that have and can see every part at once via the score. Now, perhaps put another way is how Michael Tosin Thomas puts it. And for those of you who don't know who he is, to me, he's one of the best conductors that's still alive at the making of this video in July 2025. Here's MTT in his own words conveying this idea.
What a conductor is doing is getting 100 or so people to agree where now really is. The kind of pulse, the kind of underlying breath that animates the music. The conductor has had the luxury of seeing the whole design in the score. So he is in a position to perceive the total design of what is happening in the performance.
So you can think of it in this way. The composer is the mind and the visionary behind the art, and the musicians of the ensemble are the tools and the medium to paint the picture. We as the conductors then are like the hands of the artists. We're that middle person. It's our responsibility to actually paint the blank canvas, to shape the block of marble, or write that story on the blank page. So how do we do that? Well, in order from most important to least important, I'd first say, as I mentioned earlier, it begins with research and score setting to understand the music and what the composer is trying to convey. Then it'd be through rehearsal, where we actually shape the music and refine the musical elements of the piece, the tempo, the pitch, the phrasing, the blend, the balance, etc. And finally, it's through our conducting gesture, our facial expression, our body motions, which show and express the emotion of how we want the music to be played. So to sum this all up, as a conductor, you are the visionary of the music. You must know what it is you're trying to express, and as a result, how it should be played. Beyond that though, you are the leader of the ensemble, of the musicians, the people making the music, and that's a huge responsibility. Now, if you're beginning and inexperienced with conducting, this might have been a lot to soak in. And I'll be completely honest, with this position will come a lot of work. The drum major or as a conductor, you have a lot of weight and responsibility beyond just waving your arms. And I'm gonna say this right now, it's not at all about looking cool or having the spotlight and attention on you. So I'll quickly say, if that is your reason for wanting to be a conductor or for wanting to be a drum major, I suggest you reconsider why you're doing it and why you want to be one. Now, I know most of you watching this probably aren't like that. If you're watching this, I know you want to get better. I know you want to be a better conductor and a better leader. And again, my hope is that I can help you as much as possible to serve the music and your ensemble the best you can. Anyway, that's it for this video. I hope that it helped give you a better idea and understanding of what your role as a conductor or drum major is. Remember, it's way more than being a metronome and waving your arms in time. With that said, now that we know what the role is, in the next video we're going to dive into what I believe is the most important skill when it comes to conducting. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.